thank you all for coming out here today. Without your support here, we cannot make the dream come true. Here, we come together because we've seen what 8 years of the Obama agenda has done to our country. We've seen a country that has been beaten down by our own debts, which we have been put upon us. We've seen a Congress that refuses to come up with true legislation and instead passes radical liberal agenda or refuses to do anything at all. We have seen a president, who nobly accepts the Nobel Peace Prize, still engages in conflict that we have no interest as a nation of interfering with. We've seen in America that instead of venturing forward into the possibility of a bright energy future, has instead decided to be held back by groups who believe it is better to get our energy from foreign suppliers than our own domestic soil. Today I, Marco Rubio, promise to reverse many of these trends that we are in by helping America rise from the ashes that we currently reside in. I will reverse the debt crisis that we find ourselves in by cutting the unchecked government spending that disregards cuts that the middle classes had to make themselves over the past few years. I will oversee a Congress that gets sensible action done, not just pass more policies that are favored by the radical liberal agenda or instead chooses to do nothing at all. I will see that we do not experience another Benghazi scandal as we did last year, and the means of not getting into conflicts that we ourselves have no interest in being involved in. I plan on supporting energy initiatives such as the Keystone Pipeline, not only so that we can become a more energy independent nation, but also so that more jobs are available to the American people. Lastly, and most importantly, I plan to reverse the action of the Affordable Care Act, more commonly known as Obamacare, for it is not right that we should be just supporting another form of welfare when we cannot even support Social Security itself, a much more vital institution to help us Americans. Not only do I plan on countering many of the democratic policies that have been set in motion in the past few years, but also I plan on setting up the cannon in which we can launch America into the next year with a bright future. Acknowledging my own ethnic roots, I see Latin Americans that can hold many of the same values that us traditional Americans hold so dearly. Therefore, I propose that we take another look at immigration reform, for I see true potential in the Latino community that cannot be ignored if we take appropriate steps to integrate the Latin Americans into our country's culture and later into our very own common cause. The right for Americans to bear arms is a key component that is mentioned in American culture, one that defined the very courage that many of our ancestors had in venturing off into the unknown in order to settle the West. It is due to this right, guaranteed by the Second Amendment, that the right to these firearms cannot be simply taken away. While I make this statement, I acknowledge the very troubling trend of massacre and madness that has been released to destroy our unity as a nation over this right. However, when I look at the gunman, though I do not see a fellow American, but rather a soul that has been deeply troubled and is deeply lost, it is therefore that I propose, upon reaching the office, that we do extensive background checks on these individuals so that they may never access the firearms of which they intend to do harm to others. Understanding the current state of foreign affairs, I understand that security cannot be so easily guaranteed, and that we must set up institutions such as the NSA in order to guarantee protect those rights that we so hold dearly. However, upon recent course of events, I have come to realize that the extent of the NSA's action has come to corrupt the true meaning of American privacy and freedoms. In that case, I propose that we reverse the trend that the NSA is taking so that we can guarantee more privacy and the lives of American citizens. It is from there, my fellow Americans, that I ask that you support me in our common goal to restore America to the state of greatness that she has held for so long. I ask you to come and vote on Election Day so that we can make America great again. Thank you very much, and God bless.